Well, it's Sunday the 24th of March, and this is episode 2401 of 301 Permanently Moved Online, a personal podcast 301 seconds in length, written, recorded, and edited by me, at the JMO. It's good to be back. If you've been following along, then you'll know that I've just concluded the longest break away from making the show since January of 2019, when I took a break to travel around Asia. This year was something similar. I went to Thailand for a month in January and had a super nice time. We fannied about on boats and laid on beaches and hiked through jungles. But since the show's seasons are 10-week blocks, it just made sense to skip a whole season and come back with 3 seasons or 30 episodes for 2024. As most of you will also be aware, just before Christmas I launched my new show about aphantasia, creativity and the imagination called Experience.Computer. The show releases monthly and I've just finished season 1. The reception has been great so far, and a big thanks to everyone who hopped over to the other feed after the first episode dropped and checked out the rest of the show. Experience.Computer is slowly finding its audience, and I'm feeling really good about it, both about the concept and its execution. If you haven't checked it out yet, or have only heard episode 1 that I posted on this feed back in December, please do head over to Experience.Computer and sign up to the Substack or search it wherever you get this podcast, because if you like this show, then I think you'll like my other one. I must admit, I've missed making 301 quite a bit over the last few months, and it feels good to be back behind the mic again. I hadn't realised just how big a part of my creative life this show had become. In the 10 weeks I've had off, I haven't touched a script or done any proper audio editing. I mean, for a good part of that time I was in Thailand, so I wasn't thinking about anything other than what to have to eat next. But since I've been back, until this week, 301 and the idea of podcast production, in general, has been mentally parked. I have thought about podcasts and the podcasting industry in general though, and I've been thinking about Permanently Moved and its future. Paid subscribers to my zine, Start Select Reset, will soon know what I'm talking about, as my most recent issue is a double bill with 2 essays about this show. I posted it out today, and if you'd like to receive this issue and future ones, you can get on my snail mailing list at thejmo.net/zine. After all this thinking though, one of the main mindset shifts I've decided upon for 301 in 2024 is that I'd like to transition away from the mental model of making a podcast and towards the idea of making a radio show. One of the things I need to learn if this is going to be successful is how to score properly and do sound design. As is probably already obvious, for the rest of the year I'll be playing with elements of the show's theme and incorporating them into the mixing and production of the show. The music will be built around modular elements that I can reuse, and I'll probably be writing new ones every week. I'll be using it to underscore the things that I say, using recapitulations of the melody, or just some warm pads and drums under my normal speaking voice. A little more sonic interest than just me speaking for 5 minutes. But don't worry, I'll keep it all low in the mix, as sound design is secondary to the essay and the spoken content after all. This transition is basically practice for what I want to do next in my creative life. I've spoken a lot over the years about the need to find rhythm in creating things every single week, and I recently heard a parable about this. It's about the value of consistent practice over the striving for perfection when making things. There are 2 monks and their teacher, and the master in the story says to the first student, "Go make the best pot from clay you can. You have 100 days. And to the second he says, "Make a clay pot a day for 100 days. And at the end of the time, they both come back to their teacher and show off their creations. Obviously, the second student, who made 100 pots, had the best pot at the end of 100 days. This show has been a boot camp for me. It's taught me how to write, how to read aloud, edit audio, edit video, and just be more relaxed about publishing work online. But this year, I have 30 pots to make and fill with music, and I'll be learning something new each week, exploring and moving the whole thing forward. Where it's going, I have no idea, but the show will, of course, always be a personal podcast about internet culture and the topics that fall under the remit of Permanently Moved Online. I hope you'll stick around, at least for the next 5 seasons, and then we'll see what happens next. I have a good feeling about this year. It's good to be back.